Why two people can visit the exact same country, stay near the same places, eat similar food, yet one comes home saying it was shockingly cheap, while the other feels financially traumatized. Because here's the secret: nobody on YouTube actually explains the right way. The cheapest time to visit popular countries is almost never when Google, travel blogs, or even airlines tell you it is. And once you see how the system really works, you'll realize cheap travel isn't about luck. It's about timing psychology, airline behavior, local economies, and knowing when crowds disappear but infrastructure stays alive. Because countries don't suddenly become expensive or cheap randomly. They follow invisible rhythms, and travelers who understand those rhythms move through the world paying half the price without sacrificing the experience. And it starts with breaking one big myth. Off-season doesn't mean bad season. That's just marketing designed to keep tourists flowing evenly. Because popular countries like France, Italy, Japan, Thailand, the UK, Turkey, Spain, the USA, and even the Maldives don't shut down when crowds leave. They quietly reset, prices fall, locals breathe again, and suddenly you're not treated like a walking wallet. And let's start with Europe, because this is where most people get it painfully wrong. Everyone thinks summer is the dream, sunshine, cafes, beaches. Photos, but summer is when Europe is at its most expensive, most crowded, most rushed, and least authentic, whereas the real cheapest sweet spot hides in what insiders call the shoulder shadows. Late October to early December and late January to early March. A weird quiet time where flights drop hard, hotels panic slightly, restaurants offer menus locals actually eat, and cities like Paris, Rome, Barcelona, Prague, and Amsterdam suddenly feel human again. Yes, it's colder. Yes, some days are gray, but the magic is in the emptiness. No 2-hour museum lines, no overpriced taxis, no inflated menus. And here's the part nobody mentions. Europe is built for bad weather. It doesn't stop functioning, it just gets cheaper. And airfare alone can be 40 to 60% lower if you fly midweek during these months. Not weekends, never weekends. Now jump to Japan, a country people assume is always expensive. But Japan has one of the most dramatic price swings in the world. Cherry blossom season is beautiful, sure, but it's a financial trap. Same with autumn leaf season. The real cheapest time is late January through February, after New Year excitement dies and before spring tourism begins. Flights drop, hotels slash rates, and cities like Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, and even Hakone suddenly become accessible. Trains still run perfectly. Food is still world-class, and the cold actually adds charm. Plus, Japanese winters are dry, not brutal. And you'll notice something special: locals have time for you. Conversations feel warmer. Service feels slower in a good way. Now Southeast Asia, especially Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia, Malaysia. People think rainy season equals disaster. Wrong. The cheapest time to visit Thailand is late May to early October, excluding major holidays. And yes, it rains, but not all day. Usually in short, dramatic bursts. Prices fall fast. Beach resorts offer upgrades, tour negotiating, crowds vanish. And here's a secret: tropical landscapes look their best in rainy season. Greener, fresher, alive. You're not paying for sunshine, you're paying for crowds. Remove crowds and prices collapse. Vietnam follows a similar pattern but region-specific. Central Vietnam is cheapest around September to November. Southern Vietnam cheaper in May to August. And Bali, despite what Instagram says, becomes wildly affordable from February to April and again October to early December. And no, it's not empty, it's just balanced. Now the Middle East, especially Turkey, a country travelers love but often overpay for. The cheapest time to visit Turkey is late November through March, excluding holidays. Istanbul becomes poetic. Cappadocia balloons still fly on many days. Hotels offer luxury rooms for mid-range prices, and street food tastes better when you're not sweating through crowds. Summer Turkey is chaos. Winter Turkey is culture. Now let's talk about the United States, because Americans themselves don't understand this one. The US has micro-seasons. New York is cheapest in late January to early March. Flights drop, Broadway discounts explode. Hotels get nervous. Florida is cheapest late August to September, After school starts and before winter snowbirds arrive, Las Vegas is cheapest mid-summer when the heat scares people away. But hotels compensate with insane deals. National parks are cheapest during shoulder months, not peak summer. And here's the psychological trick. Americans travel during holidays and weekends. Avoid those and prices melt. Now the UK, London in particular, one of the world's most expensive cities, but cheapest from mid-January to early March and again late October to early December. Flights drop, theaters offer deals, hotels lower rates, and London becomes moody, cinematic, quiet, and surprisingly affordable. Now let's talk about the one thing nobody on YouTube explains properly. Airlines don't price based on distance. They price based on demand fear. When people fear missing out, prices rise. When people assume travel will be bad, prices drop. Weather fear, crowd fear, timing fear, that's when you win. That's why the cheapest flights often appear when influencers stop posting about a destination. And the smartest travelers don't chase deals. They wait for silence. Because silence means demand dropped. Now here's the golden rule across almost every popular country on Earth. The cheapest time is not peak season, not deep off-season either, but the quiet edges in between. When infrastructure is fully open but tourists are emotionally distracted elsewhere. After holidays, before school breaks, between festivals, those invisible windows are when countries become generous. And here's another truth. Locals know this. They travel during these times. They know their own country's best value moments. Tourists don't, because they follow content, not calendars. Now about hotels during these cheap windows. Hotels don't just lower prices. They upgrade you: better rooms, better service, better attitude. Because you're not one of thousands, you're noticeable, and that changes everything. And food. Oh, food. In cheap seasons, restaurants don't inflate menus. They serve locals. Portions get bigger, prices drop, quality rises. Now let's address the fear. But what if something is closed? Some things close, yes, but most popular countries never fully shut down. Museums rotate hours, attractions adjust schedules, but the core experience stays intact and often improved because you're not rushed, not processed, not herded. Now let's talk money psychology. When you pay less, you enjoy more, you linger longer, you explore deeper. You say yes to things you skip when prices hurt. Cheap travel changes behavior, and behavior shapes experience. Now one more powerful truth. Cheapest travel isn't about being broke. It's about being smart. Wealthy travelers know this. That's why luxury travelers often visit during off-peak, because they get premium experiences without premium crowds. And that's why budget travelers who only travel peak season feel broke forever. Now if you remember only one thing from this video, remember this. Popular countries are expensive only when people agree to pay expensive prices. Step outside that agreement. Travel when others don't. And the world quietly becomes affordable. And that's the real secret behind the cheapest time to visit popular countries. It's not a date, it's a mindset. It's understanding when desire drops but quality stays. And once you travel this way, it's impossible to go back. Because you stop chasing destinations and start chasing moments. Quiet moments, honest moments, affordable moments. The kind that don't show up in highlight reels but stay with you forever. And that's how smart travelers see the world, without paying the price everyone else accepts.